Alright, we're back at it, back to work. I gotta get a new, better mic, I think, but... Alright, so... Alright, let me send out some messages about getting some of that stuff. Some of those assets I need. And then let me just make sure that I'm not stupid and it's not in the drive. But I may be stupid, I am sometimes stupid. Oh wait. Okay, so there's that. And then... Okay, so... But are we still missing the TV? Think so, right? Okay, but I have this, so I can set this one up. So let's download that. I said download that. There we go. And go in here. Sprite single point and sprite single point. Yeah, that should be fine. Then we go here, replace the sprite with this one. And you just have to reset up the colliders. Let's see. Set up these edge colliders. Oh, I do something like this. Oh. No, I can't have the player be able to go behind that area there. Otherwise, I would need a cutout of it. Same thing with the bed. If I don't have a cutout of the bed, then I kind of need to just have the collider such that the player can never be like rendered under the bed. Probably don't really need this much like precision, but it's whatever. I'll do it this side. This side just had the whole thing. Yeah, so let me get rid of some of these and just go on up to here, then here. And I guess in theory I could go up here, but I don't know if the player would even be able to fit there. Yeah. Then something like that. That should be good. So yeah, that collider seems good. And there's no other work I think I need to do in terms of having things render on top of each other. I don't want to do sound, but I think I have like one more tiny thing to do, and then to set up a demo I just need to set up sound. So this is kind of bad, but fine for now, I guess. Maybe I change the player's hitbox to extend out a little further. Because I don't want to. Actually, I think I can stand to make it a little bit. Let's not mess with that. Let's just kind of make it a little like wider. So hopefully it kind of gets rid of some of these weird feet rendering on top of things. Like here, for example. Still, I mean, like, it's fine, I think. Yeah, but now, for some reason, she can't fucking... the hitbox don't line up for this now. Because that's bad. Yeah, it's probably one of the worst hitboxes I've set up. Living groove edge collider. Let's kind of make it like this. Hopefully this doesn't fuck with it too much. I'm sure it'll be fine. These are all like the tiny tweak things that I can always put up for later, but then eventually later comes, and this seems good. So all the way up still makes sense. Yeah, this feels good. And then that happens. Oh, let me see. So I also have to kind of extend that out like this. This is as high up as you can go. It still kind of works, yeah. So I need to actually have that be saved. So something like that. It's just a mess of colliders here. We got one collider that's actually just a collider. We have one trigger that activates stair movement, and then we have one trigger that triggers the scene transition. It just becomes a mess. Alright. Anyway, so here we are. Let's see if this is any better. Yeah, I mean, with this specific little tough, it's still kind of bad, but we just need the bed cut out to render it on top. But that's not a pressing issue, and that's also better. I think I like it like this. I hope it doesn't have any issues, but yeah. Yeah, okay. So then I just need to finish. I need to code away. What's on the agenda now is to code away. Oh, I have some messages in BTD background. Living room final. Yeah, she did send it. She sent me an asset, but it's not showing up for me. So why isn't it there for me? Am I missing something obvious? Okay, so now we have the TV, so let's do the TV real fast. That shouldn't take more than, it's like a second. TV down here. Set it to sprite, single, apply. Object position is 0, 0, and then scale is going to be 1. And then I'm going to make an empty TV parent, and then that's going to go like all the way down here, more or less. And TV gets on TV parent. Then scripts, environment, render order, decider. Plop that on there. And that should be good. I'm back now. Sorry about that to all 0 people watching. What was I doing? Alright, so the TV's done, so now I just need to go and finish the last scene. I think my goal, I'll have to talk to the person about it, the director, but I think a good goal would be to finish this last scene and then try to kind of polish it up and release it as a very small short demo, get it play tested, and then we can kind of expand from there, kind of build it, what do they say, like build it horizontally or whatever instead of vertically. I don't know what that really means. Something like that. Alright, so okay, so here. So I guess before anything, I have to come up with some way to teleport the player after something. After dialogue finishes. Now, normally, the first thing that comes to mind is just to use the game manager to kind of hard code these type of event things. But, I need to make it, I think I need to listen for the end of the dialogue. Should also stop doing that. Well, for testing, I should probably still keep that there. Yeah, I just realized I caught this coding stream, and this is the first time I even opened in programming software, my IDE. So, right here in update is kind of how I'm checking things and having events happen. So we'd want like run event. So maybe I make, like, I was thinking of making a whole script dedicated towards the behavior of teleporting someone after it's like something finishes. How does my finish listener thing work again? The dialogue manager, this is the ugliest fucking, this is the worst script ever. Spent the most effort on it and it ended up the worst. It's a little confusing, but so there's a list of listeners. We add a listener, and then when it finishes, so I mean, this is fine, except things might happen, like it'll happen every time once it gets added. So when does this get added? Yeah, so this is a listener, and it gets added on start, so it's always listening. And then on finished, all it does is remove the blocker. Okay. Now, potential future issue is when when there's multiple dialogue menus. Because I think there's only one dialogue menu object. When there's multiple, is there going to be maybe a race condition somewhere? Like, it'll activate some blocker or something somewhere, and then a different one is going to have a reference to the same blocker. Well, actually, but blocker itself only exists on that specific menu object. So I guess each one would have their own blocker in theory. And that means we don't have a blocker for like general dialogue. So when general dialogue happens, doesn't get, there's no block or anything, which doesn't really look any different, so that's fine. Yeah, because the dialogue canvas doesn't have it. It's specifically just the background UI has the overlays, and one overlay is the drawer overlay, and in the drawer overlay is the blocker. Whew. Anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I guess just keep in mind all dialogues get activated. But I guess you can do something like on finish, like removes itself as a thing. That's probably good practice to have, at least on the game manager. So let's make the game manager implement the interface like finished, yeah, dialogue finished listener, which means I need the an unfinished thing. Update track, an update, and activate objective. Alright, so I guess under update or whatever, I do a public void on finished, which should, yeah, you're happy now. So I guess on finished, I'm gonna do two things. First off, I want to remove, which actually means I need to go on dialog manager and have that be a thing. So add listener, and also need a public static void remove listener. Dialog finish listener. Listeners dot remove. That's for an, yeah, listener. So then back to here, I want to do a dialog manager dot remove listener. This is that all I need to do on finished? Oh, then I need to do the teleport stuff, TP stuff. So first, but now an update, what I want to do is before running the event band pickup, I want to add this as a listener. So, wait, no. Dialog manager dot add listener this. Then once it's finished, it'll realize it's finished, remove it as a listener so it doesn't happen again. Maybe unfinished should take in the name of the event too. That would probably make it good. Maybe. Maybe dialog manager should have a like last run event. A string last event name. And then on run event, event run, well, we have the event name, which is pretty much the thing I'm looking for anyways, actually. So I think actually I don't need this one, and instead I can add a public static get last event name, public static string, and then return the event name. So that way I don't really need it now for the game manager, but it would be nice in the future. So I can say something like, maybe I don't even have to do the whole remove listener thing at this point then. But whatever. If dialog manager dot get last event name equals band pickup, then now let me look how I did the, I think I can just pretty much copy how I did scene transitions. I kind of want to somehow implement a scene transition like this. Like maybe there's a public method instead of the onTrigger2D. It just does this itself. So we can do something like private void activate, which then does all this, and then this just runs activate. So currently it's just kind of restructuring things. It does the exact same thing in theory, except call is player activate game object player. So then this can do call dot game object, and then I don't need this line here. But then on this line I'll do a this dot player equals player. And then I can also do a public, actually then activate it, so I don't need, I can just make activate public as well. So then we can manually activate it from the scene transitions. And this is working so well, nothing can ever go wrong with this one. And then I just need to make a placeholder for now. So white square it is. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It'll be better later. Just a white square for now. When do I put this in this world? I don't know, just down here I guess. Be a different like area. So now what I want to do is I want to go on Game Manager, add a scene transition. And you don't actually need, you don't have like a start or anything, no. Okay, so I don't need to actually have that thing. I just need Game Manager. I just need to be able to call activate from the game manager script, which should be fine. Square temp placeholder or something, and then so I will get her position, go to the game manager, and paste the position in spawn, pause, spawn direction, just make it down, I guess. And then at the game manager, I can do something like get component, because it's on the same object, scene transition, which this is, I'll have to kind of change how this works a little bit if I want to have multiple scene transitions on this object, but then I can just do, maybe I can put them on a child and then just get them by index. I don't know. Get component scene transition dot activate, and then we have a reference to the player, right? Do we? Thought we did. Okay, I'm gonna say this for now. Dot game object, because I don't want the error, but we do have a player reference here. I can get player pause. Can't get a player reference though. That seems important to have. I mean, this is a singleton design pattern, so I could probably just have a little method here to return a reference to the player, and that would actually be really, really useful. Unfreeze. Okay, let's go through all the methods here. We have start, pause input, freeze input, unfreeze, set mode, get mode, update, get player pause. Let's do get player object, and then return singleton dot game object. So then I can go here and be like activate player controller dot get player object. This is a nice method. I should remember this design pattern for future stuff. It's very convenient to be able to just, if I'm gonna have a singleton on the player, on like a single player game, then I can always I can have a way to just always get the player easily without needing to worry about, having it as a serialized field or something and having to drag and drop. Okay, so yeah, so this should work. Hopefully. Oh, because I need the box collider. So what errors did I get? Collection was modified. Enumeration operation may not execute. I know what caused this, but yeah. Let's not remove from the thing for now. Okay, that's one thing. And the second thing is I need to add a box collider to this guy because it uses the box collider with the camera. Almost. Something is wrong. Oh, because well, this is not where I put your position, though. Is it? 3, negative 32. Huh, that is. Oh no, this is negative 37. 32's. Oh, it won't let her. Because the box collider isn't a trigger. Okay, let's try this one more time. It's crazy how many little bugs there are that just because you like forget to tick a box. But typically those are the easy ones to find, so that's fine. Okay, and then we're here. So this is just a placeholder for now, so don't worry about it too much. And now I want to start the next dialogue thing, which means I need to get the next dialogue thing. So, if you're curious how dialogue works in this game, we have a resource folders with a JSON file, and it stores all the data for dialogue. A YAML file may have been a smarter choice, but it's not too bad. It's fine for what it needs to be. So there's bed, pictures, box 1, box 2, TV. These are all different event names. And the band pickup was the last one we had. So then we'll go here, comma, and then add a new dialogue event, which I will be crafting over here. Let me look at the script. Band pickup, I don't know. Oh, Juliana, okay. There we go. So there's that event, easy as pie to get. Now I just need to make sure I have all some sprites that match all these names. So, for example, because it says Sprout Chatbox and Sprout Basic, I need things in the sprite folder that have that name. So let me look for some things like that. Dialogue UI. Alright, so I need Sprout, your sprout. Let me have this up so I can see. So sprout, Arabelle, and that's it. So sprout. Can I search for things in here? Control. It says there's one, but it's not giving me a good. It must be this one. Yeah, got it. Kind of annoying if you see here. I don't know, it just gives the dots sometimes. I wish it would, and I have to like click on it to see what the actual name is. Kind of makes looking for them annoying. I'm sure there's some setting that I'm not oh, well, I mean, doing that just gives more room. That actually helps. Alright. So chat box sprout. I didn't actually download the Arabelle one. Still hasn't downloaded yet. I don't know why it's taking so long. But let's start with sprout. Sprout here. Sprite, single, point, no filter, apply. Alright, that's what I did for everything else. I think that some of them are multiple, but no real difference, I don't think, for this case. And then here's Arabelle, Sprite, single, point, no filter. And because I set it up a very specific way, I need to have it be Arabelle with chat box at the end with no spaces. Rename sprout chat a box at the end with no spaces. And then I just need some portraits for them, for Arabelle and Sprout. Let's see, that'd be in characters. No, that would probably be in sprites, not assets. Yeah. So Arabelle sprites, start with her. What's a very neutral kind of expression? Something like this maybe. Kind of foresee an issue that's going to come up, but sprite, single, point, no filter, and then I have to rename to Arabelle. So what is it called here? Yeah, Arabelle basic. I think the B is capitalized. Yeah. So this is going to be an issue for now, and it shouldn't be too hard to fix, but I know I'm going to have to put some effort into fixing it. Alright, now something for Sprout, just normal talking. You seem good. Sprite, single, point, no filter. rename sprout basic. And then, I think I actually haven't run the event yet in here. So then, we activate that, and then we do dialog manager dot run event, and the event name is band banter, because I don't know what else to call it. Now, this should all be fine and work. Is this saved? I think so. So, I know where the problem is going to be. It's going to be that I wasn't really told this explicitly, which is why I didn't prep for it. No, I should have had the foresight, but I've only ever had either like narration with no sprites or only one person sprites. And I bet when it's talking to two people, oh no, this has to wait a bit. I think I should read them. This is kind of working, but I bet they need to be on the other side. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Let's start with what's easiest, dude. I have to do it like in fucking... I'll have to set up a coroutine, don't I? Is it numerator? Let me copy from like something else. Like from cutscene, which I closed out of. I did somewhere else though too. Let's see. I just do like routine. Yeah. Oh yeah, for typing I did it. Yeah, it is numerator. Okay. I don't really actually need to copy and paste anything then. Numerator. Run band banter. So I'm going to yield return new wait for seconds. We'll wait a solid 3 seconds, should be enough time. I don't like having magic numbers and just hard coding this stuff, but I'm kind of lazy. And what's wrong with you? IE numerator. Okay, so I probably need an import that I'm not using. Well, let's just import all of these and see if that fixes it, and then we can determine which ones we do and don't need. This is not working now. But this is. That's in systems collections. And go with all these. And then, and now you're fine, I guess. And he's fine. What made you not fine? I'm just curious. This isn't gonna solve anything. Collection's generic, maybe? It's messing it up. Oh yeah, it's ambiguous between... Oh, it was the visual scripting. Oh. Alright. And then I can do just a run or start coroutine. Run band banter. There we go. And then it should have a little wait. I don't know why I did that. This doesn't help me at all. Okay. There's something I want to test to see how it looks if I'm just like holding like a movement key. Uh-huh. Also, is it just me or is that sprite kind of messed up a little? I don't know. It's an easy fix, I think. We'll just have the player controller when it's frozen. I'll go to update here. If it's frozen, set just returning. We'll set it's RB dot linear velocity equals vector 2.0. That should fix that. Yes, whenever you get frozen, guarantee that it's not gonna have a velocity. I don't know why I'm doing that, because in my head I know that below this in the scene is this thing, and it's like I'm trying to walk there. That's not how you get there. You have to go through a cutscene, or not really a cutscene, but like this thing. Okay, that's fine, I think. Maybe you walk around for like a second. And this happens, and but I bet they need to be on the other side. So, how do I do that? I can manually set like the sprite to a different location. I think I'm gonna do a similar thing I had. Well, maybe I can read the name of whoever. Do I read the chat box name? Yeah, I think I can do that. So I can use the chat box name like I did before. Where is this? I think I have it in like a run line. Wait, this is player control. Dialogue manager. I need to create like regions and stuff and like clean this up. Here, where I have this camera stuff. So I already have like kind of the name of the character already. So I have empty portrait. What if I also set I can just set a different thing. here second empty portrait, and then I'll call this second portrait. It's like a secondary, it's a secondary portrait. And then on a run line, let me check wherever I update the portrait. Actually, on awake, I have to do second portrait equals second empty portrait. And then start from the top, because wherever portrait is being used, I have to, let me control F, portrait, second portrait dot game object dot set active false. Now, do I set this true off the bat? I don't think so. I think not yet. I'll think about it later. But turning it off is another story. Okay, so here we do portrait.sprite equals this. So I want to do check if main character. So I only want the main character to be on the left. So, yet again, we will have yet another, and then fine, I'll make him a public, even if it's not good practice. Public static string main character equals Xana. And then we can change that later if we need to. But so then move that to here. Check with main character, and then Actually, let's do something like this. Then I can just do if it's not null and this. So then I can do if cur name equals that name dot to lower. Sure. If cur name equals main character dot to lower, just to make sure. Oh wait, equals. So if it is the main character, then we can just have it be like the same thing. But if it's not, else second portrait dot game object dot set active true, and second portrait dot sprite equals this. Okay. In theory, this should work once I set it up a bit more. Oh, you're saving. Oh, it's just hidden. There it is. Yeah, I can get rid of that dialogue stuff here. Portrait, I want to control. I'll say this is secondary portrait. And move you to be about like here. And then in the dialogue manager, wait, where's the dialogue manager? Oh, here it is. We have the secondary portrait. And let's see if this works. I think that should be everything set up. I guarantee you it's not going to work. First try. So this is fine. Oh, it works kind of. Let's actually. Okay. I mean, there might be some minor adjustments, but that works. That works first try. That's awesome. Alright, I'm pretty content with all that. I don't think there's not much more I can do besides just small visual stuff until I get the further I have 100 Discord notifications. Anyways, I don't think there's much more I can do. All I have to do is, or I guess I need to wait for the actual background for this thing. I can set up that scene. Then once that's done, I probably am fine to like, then it's just like finishing it up, packaging up as a demo. So sound stuff is still something we need to set up. Not that I've been given any sound files or anything, but I need to plan for the future, I think. What else is there to do? I'll do this right now. I've been wanting to have the text have more of an outline, because sometimes it's a little hard to see, but too much outline makes it look really dark, but I don't know. Because at first I was like, oh, it's just because the placeholders are like white background that won't really exist as much. But I think even stuff like here has kind of a, it looks fine, yeah. Yeah, I think that makes it a bit more readable. And then even, yeah, now it's even readable on the white background. This is really dark there. It's not super readable. I need to fix that. Yeah. Sorry, I know I'm repeating myself. I just need to. I want to brainstorm about next steps. Whew. I want. What do I want? I need this image. I need. So once I have that, I set it up, and then that's kind of it. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is pretty. This is almost everything I need for the demo. So yeah, so I'm gonna end it there. We'll do a git commit and push, so that we'll all be caught up. Let's see, how do I summarize today's work? I did background work plus finished event or scene to event, and then also added secondary portrait functionality. Alright, push that and call it a day for today. Good 1 hour long session about. Yeah. Pushed. I'll have to think about the save system, how to implement that a bit more, but that should be okay. Alright. Well, no, I actually had one viewer at some times during this stream today, so thank you very much to that one guy. If you're watching this later, I hope you enjoyed and found it at least somewhat interesting, kind of how game development works behind the scenes. I'll probably, even if there's no one really watching, I'll probably stream this like every time now. Just because it's kind of fun and it helps me to talk through it, even if I'm not talking to anyone about it. So yeah,